Hey folks, how's it going? The next Guild War is going to come between the 13th and the 20th of April, so I've got a little bit more time to prepare. I want to go a little bit more in depth for my water setups and see if I can work on a Varuna Upgrade as well. This is probably going to be a two-parter though, since I'm planning to spark for Doggo, but I don't know if it's going to happen between the early March or early April. So let's see what setups I can use for now without Doggo, and then I'll probably work on a second part later. As far as characters go, let's start with Altair. He's not going to bring much to the table in terms of damage, but he brings a nice boost to critical hit rate for water allies, a boost to attack and defense, a hit to defense, as well as a 30% charge bar boost. This might be kind of useful for standard or one-long setups, so I'm going to list him as just a charge bar booster. 0-2 buttons with a defense down and a 30% bar boost. EMP wise, he doesn't have much in terms of actual damage, but he did roll an 8% charge attack damage cap, so that's something. Next up it's going to be Lily. She gets a nice boost to water allies water attack, as well as a boost to CA specs against foes with Glaciate. She can inflict Glaciate with her second skill, as well as a stackable hit to defense, but there's also one EX sword that's going to inflict the same debuff, so Lily can actually be a 0-1 button character. As far as her EMPs go, she doesn't have any charge attack damage cap up, and she only rolled a 20% charge attack damage, but she's still going to hit fairly hard. Lancelot is a skill based character. Both my Eternals are still 4-star, so they're not going to get the increased charge attack damage cap for their 5-star upgrade, but since I have all 10, they're both going to start with 70% charge bar if I use a one-long setup, so I'm going to list them both as kind of the same. Next up we've got Societe, who is just a healer, and Silva. She does come with insane charge attack damage and damage cap, but she needs a few button presses to do so, namely her Eagle Eye, which also grants a chain burst damage. Tactician only grants critical hit rate, she shouldn't really need this, but that specimen comes with instant CA and bonus water damage on CA. This should go between 800k to 1.2 millions based on whatever used in the grid. EMP wise, she has a nice 10% charge attack damage cap from her EMPs and another 11% charge attack damage cap from her ring. Next in the list is going to be Catalina. She also got some charge attack damage cap thanks to her 5-star version, but she's going to require to use her 4th skill in order to do so. This though is going to be 2 clicks, so I'm not sure if it's really worth it. Moving on, we've got Yodara. On Ogi, Yodara consumes all triple shrouds in order to deal 1 million bonus plane damage. This has been his staple ever since the game launched pretty much, and he's always been known in water for being able to let you MVP your raids for this. As far as the EMPs go, he's got a nice 10% charge attack damage cap from her EMP and another 9% charge attack damage cap from his ring. So Yoda is a nice 0 button character with a 19% charge attack damage cap boost. After Yoda we've got Lilele. She is kind of weird, I don't think I've ever used her. I know she's been used sometimes with a Kengo setup, mainly due to the fact that she grants a boost to all allies charge bars and charge bar gain on her second skill, as well as a boost to attack for male allies. I'm not sure how good she's going to be, but I'm still kind of curious. She's probably going to do kind of the same job as Altair, but not really. Romeo also comes with some bonus damage on his Ogi. Moving on in the list, we've got Christmas Arlumea, which is just a buffer, she's not really good for OTK. Vera and the Caterpillar, who is a skill damage based character. Vayne requires too much setup to use his 3rd skill, and then we come to Drang. After his rebalance, Drang can now recast his 1st skill on Ogi as long as he's in attack mode. Also, Full Utilize counts as a dispel, and with M.Theresa in the back, he's going to get an extra nuke on this. So Drang can be a 0-1 button character, and he's going to get 1 nuke for his 1st skill and another nuke on Ogi. Moving on, we've got Water Yule, who unlike her wind version doesn't get the extra 1 million damage on Ogi. Kokoro, which is a debuff based character, not really good for OTK, and M.Theresa. By using Abraxas, she's going to inflict Unrighteousness on a foe, and Unrighteousness is going to grant her increased CA specs. She doesn't really have anything for her EMPs to increase that even further, but I might want to try her both in the front line and in the back line with Drang. And then there's Summer Grea. I gave her ring and I've been using her far too little. I'm really sad about this. She gets her CS specs enhanced against foes with Dragoforce effect, and she inflicts Dragoforce as well as a nuke on her first skill. She can also grant linkage to another ally to share her buffs and EMP skills, and I've been using her with a Kengo with Dragon Harp to get something like 12 million damage out of MC alone. Even though she's going to need 3 button presses for this. I still want to give her a shot, but I'm not sure how good she's going to be right now. Also, she gets yet another boost to charge attack damage and charge attack damage cap when she's linked with another character. EMP wise, she comes with a boost to charge attack damage cap, 8% charge attack damage cap from a ring, and another 5% damage cap from a ring alone. She's going to need between 1 to 3 buttons, which is a bit too many. After Summer Grea, I've got the Ogres, and they come in with a boost to all allies water attack, as well as an instant charge attack standby to caster. It's not really much, but it can be useful for certain setups. Alright, it's time to move on to page 2, and there's only 3 more characters down here. First in the list is going to be Europa, who I don't think is really good for OTK setups. She doesn't really bring much to the table, but she does have an increase to all allies boost to water attack effect. Down in her EMPs, she comes with a stamina buff, 2 crit rates and a 12% charge attack damage cap, so I still want to give her a shot. Second to last is Aglovale, who is going to get a boost to his charge attack specs when his water attack is boosted. EMP wise, he only comes in with 2 crits and some skill damage cap. Didn't even level this up yet. I'm not sure how good it's going to be for OTK setups, but I'm curious to see how high his damage goes. Lastly, there's Summer Sandy, who is a sort of a buffer but is used for longer fights. Down in the SR department for OTK setups, the only one who I can use is probably going to be just Lyria. She's got a nice charge attack damage cap here and another 9% charge attack damage cap from her ring. As far as the classes go, of course there's going to be Mechanic. Grisor can work on both Leviathan and Huanglong, Kengo, and then of course there's the Rising Force. Now let's take a look at the available weapons. First thing first, it's going to be Mechanic, and for him I've got an Ultima Gun who's going to boost all allies attack specs on Ogi, as well as boost to all allies attack, max HP and multi-attack rate. I might put a skill damage boost in here if I can get someone else with that actually inflicts skill damage, but this might really only work with characters like the Aquars, Silva and someone else with a gun specialty. The second weapon for a mechanic setup is going to be the Clarion EX gun. This one is going to give a boost to all allies dodge rate as well as water damage to foes upon dodging. It also brings a boost to all water allies skill damage cap, so it might be fairly decent with Silva or other characters who inflict skill damage. Moving on, Grisor is going to require sabers and katanas, and for him I've got a Murgle. I'm not really too sold on this weapon, but I want to still give it a shot and see how high Katarina's damage goes. Second weapon is going to be the 8 life katana. Sadly, this too only has a big boost to water attack and only goes up to level 10. The random 1 turn cut to skill cooldowns or the 30% charge bar boost are kind of useless on Grisor, so this is like a third to fourth choice. If I can avoid using this, I probably will. Tsurumaru Kuninaga, but this one, even though it has a skill level 15 EX modifier, only brings a delay. Still probably better than the 8 life katana. Moving on, another EX modifier is going to be the Ice Claymore. This one comes with a glaciate effect on Ogi as well as a boost to the main character's critical hit rate. It has a skill level 15 EX modifier, and yeah, the other passive is not really that useful. Still, Glaciate effect can possibly work with Lily, so I want to give this one a shot. Rose Crystal Sword only comes with a level 10 EX modifier and a 15% hit to water defense. If I can avoid using this, I probably will as well. Another weapon I've been kind of interested in but I've not been building is the Ancestral Blade. This one comes with a boost on chain burst damage cap on Ogi, which is a little bit interesting. Sadly, the EX boost can only go up to level 10, and I can't make use of its passive, at least not for OTK setups. Lastly, there is the gacha weapon. The Gottfried just got a nice little buff and it became pretty much a water wind hose, giving a boost to all allies charge bars, but also coming with a big boost to water allies attack, a small boost to charge attack damage, and a boost to water charge attack damage cap. This is going to cost me 3 Damascus bars though. I'm still kind of interested to see what this weapon does, and if I can upgrade to a Varuna setup, this is probably going to be a mainstay in that grid. Before moving on to Kengo though, I want to kind of check on the wiki and see if there's other interesting weapons I can get my hands on. So, Keeper of the Hallowed Ground, kind of an interesting sword. It comes with a massive damage to a foe, AoE clear, as well as a big boost to attack on a Horror Smite 2 skill, and a boost to chain burst damage and chain burst damage cap. Doesn't even need to be in a main or an offense slot in order to work, so yeah, for a Varuna grid, Keeper of the Hallowed Ground definitely looks like an interesting choice. Next up is going to be the Kengo. Going for katana and bows. For Kengo, the 8 life katana is actually kind of insane. I've been using it with Summer Grea. Also, if I decide to make another Unsigned Kaneshige, it's definitely going to go for a Kengo Mainhand. Other than that, I really don't know. There's the Ancestral Blade, but it's kind of a small modifier, and then there's the Europa bows, but these ones also only bring medium boost to water attack and only a 20% boost to MC's charge bar. If I have the 8 life katana, these are like a worst option for it. On the Rising Force side though, there's the Dante Alighieri, and this is actually kind of an insane main hand to use. Comes with a boost to strength for all the party, as well as a bonus water damage as soon as the boss triggers his 50% trigger. Now, before moving on, I want to see if I can do something for a Varuna grid, because my summon is actually only missing 1 Starlight Stone, and pretty much every friend in my friend list has a Varuna, so I might try upgrading this or just use Bonito as a main summon, with Varuna as a secondary. As far as the rest of the grid goes though, I'm really not sure what I should put in here. I guess I need at least 1 Magna modifier, so this Europa Harp is going to become a staple for it, and after this I'm going to need, of course, a Dark Opus. I don't think you can leave the house without one. Another weapon you can't leave your house without is going to be the Seraphic weapon. This is going to be the staple and the very basics of my Varuna grid. Now, as far as main hand goes, I can probably use an 8 life katana for a Kengo setup, a Sigurd bow, or an Unsigned Kaneshige, should I actually decide to make one. I'm going to need one other EX modifier, probably under the form of a Xeno Staff, and I'm already up to 3 staves. As far as damage goes, I'm going to need more attack buffs, probably going to put the Thimbles, either 1 or 2. I'm going to put 2 for now, see if I can take one off later. And what else is there? More normals or more EXs. Zhuanghu Mace Malus actually comes with a boost to waterless damage cap, and this should be a 7% boost. Also Horror Smite 2, I don't think there's any Varuna grid that doesn't use this. One more weapon I can use is probably going to be a Drank Ball. Like this though, I'm already up to 4 staffs, so I can probably just do this and go up to 5. 2 sources of strength, 3 sources of charge attack damage cap, and 2 more sources of damage cap up. Only got 1 EX, but I'm not sure how good this is going to be. I will still probably want to bar the Drank Ball at least. Okay, let's try and give a look at a Chrysor setup. Still need my Dark Opus, Seraph and Europa Harp in the bottom. As far as the main hands go, I can probably try with the EX plus Gottfried. I'm probably going to need to keep the Drank Ball, and at this point I can probably keep both the EX Staff as well as the Cosmos. Up here though, I can either put both of these, I can use the Zhuanghu, I can use the Bow of Sigurd as well. Upgrading this is going to cost me 6 Damascus bars though. It's kind of a big hit. But that's it if I want to keep using the Cosmos, otherwise I can probably replace the EX as well as the Cosmos for a second Thimble and the Bow of Sigurd. Something like this, but this is probably going to require some testing. Again, I'm just glad I don't have to invest too many Dama bars into this. I really don't want to wait for a second Grand Ball, and I definitely don't want to spark for a second Grand Ball, so my options are kind of limited. I just hope they're not that bad. Before throwing bars into this though, let's actually go for my standard Magna Setups. So first thing first is going to be Mechanic on a Leviathan build. I'm getting kind of close to a third Harp as well, I'm just missing 2 more drops. For the time being though, I'm just going to put another medium attack up here. Only 2 dodges, but that's an extra 1.2 million damage. So yeah, this team isn't really working, but it's doing some decent job at least. .2, 3.8, 4.0. Actually not too bad. Yeah, Catalina can go, Bromeo can go. I still want to try Drank though. Can probably bring Silva in, as well as Yodara. Or I can try something with Europa. Just to see if and how much Europa influences the damage with her water attack up. Let's actually try like this. .3, it's actually not that big of a change. Catalina on the other hand went up to 3.5. And 3.3 million from Europa. Yeah, not too bad. I also want to try with Katarina's damage cut, since she's going to get increased specs for it. Up to 15 million, with Europa dealing 4 million without a single button. Again, I'm not expecting this to actually clear what I need to clear, but it doesn't change that much. Catalina got like an extra 100k damage. Europa lost a ton of damage as well, probably missed the crate there. 100. No, I didn't even reach 15 millions again. Hold it. Still, Katarina is doing some decent work. Just not enough to kill it. Can we make the mechanic meme work? Who can we bring here? Probably bring Lily for the one button, probably bring Altair for another. For the attack boost at least. Can probably try with Silva too. That's going to be quite a lot of buttons though. Still, Silva should be able to deal quite a ton of damage. If anything can get this mechanic setup to work, it's going to be her. I probably still want to keep trying for Drank plus M.Theresa since I'm lacking the combo. And I don't know, let's try Summer Grea for just one button. Yeah, let's go all in, screw it. Extra nuke, yeah, probably still need the extra nuke as well. Defense down. Let's avoid linkage for now. Oh yeah, we can even test the damage from linkage alone. Let's see MC. 2.1 without linkage. 5.4 plus 1 million from Silva. So freaking great. And there's quite a lot more from Grea as well. Of course, not enough to kill it though. Even with all these buttons. So let's see, that's 6.5 millions from Silva, that's 5.3 from Grea and only 2.8 from MC. Let's try with linkage and see if things go a little bit higher. It's still another button press though, something I would like very much to avoid. And Ren missed the defense down. .5 without the defense down debuff, so linkage is definitely doing something. 4.6, that's 400k damage more. So yeah, linkage is definitely doing something. And we're getting close. I mean, it's 4, 6, 7, 9 buttons, but they're getting close. It's 6.7 million from Silva, it's 5.8 million from Grea. The weak points here are MC and Drang. I'm probably going to need to swap Drang out for someone else. I might want to try Altair, I might want to try Lily. Yeah, let's try Lily. 2.7. It's kind of weird to see MC being unable to break the 3 million damage with the Ogi. 4.7 from Grea though look really nice. And yeah, there's a mechanic setup that can actually take down the EX Plus. 4, 5, 7, 9 buttons though. "34 seconds, 9 buttons with Silva pushing out 6.5 million damage and Summer Grea pushing out 5.3. Lily was not so bad either with 4.6 million damage. Moving on, let's move to the Levi Chrysor setup. And the problem here is going to come down to the weapons, cause what the hell do I bring? I might want to try with the Ice Claymore as a main hand for the boost to critical hit rate for the second hit. And as a second weapon, maybe Mergle, maybe 8 life katana, but it's a normal modifier, I'm not too big of a fan of it. Can bring a second EX. I don't want to bring this. I really don't want to bring this. So back to an EX skill level 15 we go. Alright, so for this sort of setup I'm going to need a ton of charge bar gain and charge bar boost. This is where Altair comes into play. I love how Silva always comes in strong. But yeah, no, we only go down to 11%, so this isn't really working. Even if I want to swap out someone else for, say, Grea, who is the one who's dealing the most damage out of the entire list right now, Levi Chrysor is probably a skip. With a one long summon, Chrysor can actually reach 100% charge bar on his own, so I'm not going to need any self charge bar boosting characters. I will still probably want to put Silva in though, just because she deals some crazy amount of damage. Other than her, I can probably just put in like Lyria and an Eternal, and I would already have a full team Ogi. I probably want some more buffs as well though. So who am I bringing? I can bring Europa, I can bring Lyria, I can bring Altair. Altair plus Europa is going to be 3 buttons from Altair, 2 from MC, and that should be pretty much it. That's a little bit better. That's a lot better. And that's somewhat better, still not enough to kill it though. So how much is this? Five buttons for 16 millions, with MC pulling most of the weight of course. It's time to move on to a Bonito Kengo setup. Even though without Doggo I'm not sure how good this is going to be. I needed quite a lot of button pressing to make this work last time. Weapon wise, yeah, it's just going to be the 8 life katana. Too much charge bar gain. As far as these skills go, he only really needs a No More Doubt. So yeah, Fighting Spirit plus No More Doubt for MC, and that's probably going to be it. Now characters. Altair might be good, Lily might be good, and I probably don't need Eternals. Silva is an absolute beast. Yeah, this is a bit much. This is honestly a bit too much. It should still get the job done, but this is probably a bit too much. I told you it was a bit too much. They shoot it almost completely out of the park though. 3, 5, 7, 8 buttons. 23 million. I can do 2 million less, but I can probably push Altair out and use someone who doesn't need all that button pressing though. It's actually not so bad. Guaranteed triple, 2.5. It's so and so. 3, 5, 6, 7 buttons. I also think they cut it quite close. They're probably just... oh no, it's 600k over 21 million, so they didn't even cut it close. 35 seconds, 1 turn, it's kind of alright, but still not something I want to run. Time for the last class testing, Rising Force. I don't want to have expectations for this, but I still kind of do. Of course, he's going to get a Dante Alighieri as a main weapon. As far as characters go, I'm going to try and put as many characters who need no skills pretty much. So all I'm going to need here is going to be Rising Force. I will probably want to keep Miserable Mist. MC is going to buff Strength. I can probably bring someone to buff Water Attack up as well. The year is going to buff Water Attack up, and then Europa is going to even increase that buff even more. After them, Silva can probably seal the deal. Technically, this is all I should need. Technically. I need more, way more. Okay, no, Silva stops at 3 million damage without her first skill. 2.6 from the extra damage is also kind of nice, as well as 1 extra million. Okay, 2 buttons and 1 summon is probably a bit too little. 15 millions though. It's enough to one-shot the EX. Tell me a 4-button setup is enough though. 2.4 is already a little bit better from MC. Not bad from Altair. Oh god, 6 million damage from Silva, so good. Okay, they don't even need to rely on the extra damage from the Dante Alighieri. Nice. $21 million and 100k. Almost 5 million from MC, 3.4 from Altair, 6 million from Silva with a single button press, and 3.7 from Europa. I can probably swap Europa up for, I don't know, pretty much everyone else, I guess. $3.3 for no apparent reason. 3.3 for no apparent reason. It's probably the random crits screwing me over. Well, not really screwing me over, but still. Aglovale works. $3.7, pretty much the same amount of damage Europa dealt. Even though Altair damage was way lower and MC's damage was way higher for some reason. Down to 24 seconds at least, so yeah, I'm kind of satisfied. It's not a 0-button setup where you just press Bonito, attack and you clear the raid in 2 seconds, but it's not like a Magna player can actually hope for much. Also, this is without Doggo. Once I get Doggo, Bonito teams are going to get so much better. MC keeps doing more and more damage, for no apparent reason. He went from 2 point something to 3.3 and now 3.4. The overall damage is still somewhat consistent. I don't think I can replace Altair. I don't think I can replace Silva. 5 million damage on Ogi with 1 button press is just too good to give up on. I can probably swap her out for Summer Grea. She should be able to deal similar amounts of damage. But I believe that either one of the two is kind of necessary in this sort of team. So yeah, both of them are only going to press one button. And let's see what the damage difference is. MC has probably missed the crit. That's the only way I can justify him going from 2.2 to 3.4 million damage. Alright, no, Grea is dealing 1 million damage lower than Silva. Even if we take into account the skill damage she deals on her first skill, so there is 1 million damage difference between the two. Else can we try? Let's try M.Theresa, why not? She too gets increased spec Sonogi on a single button, so... M.Theresa is probably already ahead of Grea. .8 though. I'm not sure she's going to catch up to Silva. Oh, that's it. God damn it. I forgot to swap the Baha weapon. Still, higher than Grea and way closer to Silva than I expected. Let me swap out this weapon and see if it gets any changes. Yep, that's pretty close. .9, 5.4. So yeah, I guess if I didn't have Silva, M.Theresa is probably the closest thing to her. Breast size as well. Yeah, last character, still probably just Europa or Aglovale since they go on a 0 button setup, and they should still be able to get the job done. For a Magna setup, this is probably the best I can do, going down to 4 buttons. If I manage to spark Doggo in early March or early April, I might actually save another one and go down to 3. 3 buttons plus 1 summon, of course. Also, I want to get another Europa Harp, going up to 3 and take down that dagger. Still, I have to admit that this is pretty nice. It at least falls into the standard for what most of my other Magna grades can do. And I guess that's going to be it for part 1. I'll be looking into a Varuna upgrade and I will probably spark in the meantime, so see you guys for part 2 in like early April. Ciao!